Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.
We are the nation of domination.
What is up, Eagles Nation? It's your boy BIRDGANG 31 in the building. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a blessed Halloween, spooky Halloween out there. Everybody stay safe. Don't eat the wrong candy. We are here in Dallas Hate Week. You know what time it is. I had to get out with my boy J Tuck from the Cowboys, one of my favorite Cowboy content creators to work with. What up, J Tuck? How you doing today, my guy?
What's going on, big dog, man? I'm chilling, man. I'm trying to avoid all these trick-or-treaters here in my neighborhood. You know, my wife is getting on me because I ate all the good candy, man. So I left all the Reese's and Tootsie Rolls and stuff I really don't rock with. So I had to go make a candy run because there's a bunch of kids in my neighborhood and they out deep tonight. So,
yeah, you gotta get the good candy. You know?
Let me jump on the show, bro, because I ain't trying to be working all night, man.
You gotta get that good candy, man.
Yeah. You know,
whenever the kids come with the candy bag, like, hey, give me that one. Let me have that. Y'all can eat as many of those as you want, but just give daddy that one right there.
Yeah. My wife, she hid the candy in the house yesterday, but I kind of just mysteriously found it. And so I already went to the bag. You know what I'm saying? I already went to the bag and got what I need to get up out of there. And she was like, nah, you gotta go back to the store. So, you know, but happy Halloween to everybody.
Happy Halloween. Yeah. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe if you have not subscribed before. We're bringing some fire content all week long, man. Hey, it is Hate Week. It is Cowboys Eagle. It is basically for the lead of the division too, right? You guys, what's your guys' record right now?
We're 5-2.
5-2.
Yeah.
So and then we're 7-1. So if you guys win, you guys go 6-2. Well, we still have one game lead over you guys, right?
Well, I think because we had our bye already. You guys haven't had your bye, so you're right.
We have our bye next week. Yeah.
So, but
how you feeling about your boys?
Yeah, I feel like thus far, man, I'm right kind of where I had us, you know, doing the kind of preseason prediction point. You know, honestly, I didn't have us losing to the Cardinals, but I did have us losing to the Jets because at the time I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to be the quarterback. So, you know, overall, I can't complain where we currently stand. I think the loss of Trayvon Diggs, it kind of took the wind out of the season for a little bit for a lot of Cowboys fans, but we're seeing some of our younger players step up, and Deron Bland, and you're seeing, Stephon Gilmore kind of find his footing here in Dallas as well. So overall, I'm not too upset about this season. I think we're right on par where we should be. And you see what happened with the San Francisco 49ers. They're kind of on a slide right now. Philly's playing well. I think when you look at Philly, the one thing that really stands out to me personally is just the resiliency when you watch them. Like, they're just winning close, nasty, dirty games. It's not too sexy, not too flashy, but sometimes when you're trying to build a championship team, those are the games you need, right? So I think overall, though, the NFC is still wide open. And it's going to be, who's playing the best football down in December and January, which we got next month. You know what I'm saying? Like, we already almost in November, and so we were almost to that point. So overall, I got not too many complaints about the Cowboys where we currently stand.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I haven't watched too many, but like you said, our Eagles been giving me gray hairs, my guy.
Yeah.
Gray hairs. See, like, I agree with you. Like, I had us going 15-2 this offseason, but I did say it'll be a division game probably that we'll lose, either to the Giants or to Washington, which we just swept Washington, so that feels good. It's not going to be them. The Giants not looking like they're going to beat us, so it could be you guys. I'm not saying it's going to be you guys, but it could be you guys. You know what I'm saying? But the other one was to the Jets, because I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to be playing, and everybody knew the Jets just needed a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They had a quarterback. That was going to be a wrap. Their team was going to be good because they had a lot of young players. They had the offense and defensive rookie of the year last year. They're coming in hot, but since they didn't have that quarterback, I didn't expect us to lose that game.
Right.
These close games, like you said, this close games been like pulling teeth, man. You're sitting there watching the game like, come on now, what's going on? It's not like last year where you're blowing teams out by halftime, and now in the second quarter, some teams might kind of fight back, but we pretty much had the game wrapped away. But it is a harder schedule this year, and I do think, like, it still brings character for our football team. Like, when we need to stop, we get to stop. When we need something, we kind of go get it, and that's something I'm really proud about with my football team this year. This matchup, man, coming up, man, what would you say were some of you guys' strengths that the Eagles, fans might not understand or know about?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting matchup, man, because I think we finally get, healthy Dak Prescott versus healthy Jalen Hurts. I mean, we got it, a few years ago, but Jalen was still emerging. He's not the Jalen Hurts that you see today. And then last year, we know when we were in Philly, we didn't have Dak, we had Cooper Rush. And then when you guys were in Dallas, you had Gardner Minshew. So I think that's going to be the exciting matchup that everyone's going to look for. And I think that's really going to be the difference. Like, I feel like whoever plays the best at the quarterback position, that's probably where who would probably win this game. But overall, some of the things I'm looking at this matchup, when you look at the teams on paper, as much as we bicker back and forth online, like, we're very similar. And just from a statistical standpoint, like, I think we're like number 3 in third down conversions, and you guys are number 1, probably just due to the inflation, the tush push. We had some red zone troubles. You guys had some red zone trouble. So it's like, it's kind of an even weird matchup. And I think that's why Vegas had it close. But, overall, I think the most important key for the Cowboys to win this game is that our offensive line has to play better and protect Dak Prescott. And I feel like front that you guys have, you definitely cause havoc, just like our defensive front can cause havoc, but you guys can definitely do it as well. And you're top in the NFL with the run defense as well. So if you can't run the ball and you're put in positions where we got to sit back and drop 30 times, 40 times passing, I think that works into the Eagles' hands, and you got to protect. Our offensive line hasn't played the best. Is Tyron Smith going to play? He better. You know what I'm saying? Like, he better. Like, Tyron Smith's been taking these PTO days, and he took one last week because of a stinger, and then you had Chima Udoka go down. So, that's going to be one thing that I'm really focused on this week is, like, what's going to be the health of our offensive line. But also just from a Dak Prescott standpoint, I think after he kind of took the whooping versus the 49ers, he realized, like, okay, what we're doing is not working, and he can't be complacent. And I know Eagles fans kind of get mad at me when I say this online, but if I had to compare Dak to a quarterback, he reminds me a lot of Donovan McNabb. And I always felt like Donovan McNabb was at his best when he was a dual threat. And then they tried to nerf him, just make him a pure passer. Like, that wasn't his game. Like, I mean, it was his game, but he can do a lot more, especially with his legs. And so I think when it came to Dak, they tried to do that. And it's like, bro, just run. Like, in the San Francisco game, like, just run sometimes and keep the drive alive. And you're seeing that a lot more in these last 2 games. So I really want to see him to continue that. And then most importantly, getting to see him involved and treating him as a number 1 wide receiver. I mean, the first few games, and that's kind of the difference between us and y'all, right? Because we really don't know who we are because we had either blown out games where we dog walking everybody and our team is sitting out in the fourth quarter, or we're getting blown out. So besides the Chargers game, we haven't had that close, resilient, battles to really know, okay, what can we rely on? But, I see that, that Mike McCarthy's making an effort to get CeeDee Lamb the ball more and often, and you're seeing what he's doing the past 2 games, playing like a wide receiver 1. So from an offensive standpoint, those are some of the things I'm really focused on, going to be on Sunday.
Yeah, you just said 2 things that got me 2 topics we're going to talk about. Our first 2 topics here is, you see online right now the big Dak Prescott versus Jalen Hurts thing. Some people think Dak's better than Hurts. Some people think Hurts better than Dak. You know what I'm saying? Like, they both, great players. Like you said too, like, it's funny how you said that about that, because I noticed that too over the last couple of games with Dak. He's been running a lot more. He even talked about running a little bit more. And keeping these guys as pocket passers. That was one thing I feared that the Eagles would do to Hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't listen to the outside world tell you that, oh, he's a running back, or, oh, running quarterbacks can't do nothing. That's what got you your $200 million contract. That's what you do. Obviously Hurts been hurt, struggling with knee injury this year, but he's been playing through it, playing pretty good ball, and it's keeping him to stay inside that pocket. And he's showing you that he can throw the ball, Right now, he's at 2,400 yards, 19 touchdowns, second in touchdowns, overall touchdowns, and then I believe he's third in yards right now. So he's doing his thing with his arm, but it's like, I still, when we first started this season off, it was more like the only time you seen him run was like quarterback draws, and I hate that play. I hate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Hurts is not a quarterback where you need to really scheme up a run. His runs usually come off of broken plays.
Right.
And that's when he's his most effective running. So don't try to go in like, oh, I'm going to quarterback draw you. I remember a couple of games pulling my hair out because like they did 2 times in a row, quarterback draw. What are you doing? Like, just not Lamar Jackson out there, just like Cam Newton out there. You let this guy go with the flow of the game, and then you get him in there. So, for me, like I said, I feel like there really shouldn't be a comparisons between Dak and Hurts. They haven't played the same amount of years, but Hurts has accomplished more in a short time, I believe, than Dak has. Like, he's the only player in the last 25 games. He's only lost 2 regular season
Right.
games. No, just 2. And like you said, last year, we went down to Dallas, beat you guys with Hurts. You know what I'm saying? But you guys didn't have Dak. Then you guys came to Philly. We didn't have Hurts. You know what I'm saying? You guys came down and beat us. So I think that is one of the things, because a lot of people put the thing on, like, regardless on what, Dak doesn't really play that great in big-time games, but he always plays great against the Eagles. That's the narrative of it all. But I was like, in terms of like that, I heard, who was it? I think it was Keyshawn talk about it. And he was like, the thing is, those losses that Dak has had to the Eagles was when the Eagles were a dominating football team. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the wins didn't come from a dominated Eagles team. It mostly came from, when we were missing a quarterback, or, he put up that broke the record on us, that week 17 game, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's like, whoa, I'm like, come on, dude, he played a third string. But, so I understand the record is good, but like you said, I would like to see what goes down, this Sunday with both of them starting this week.
Right. Yeah. And I get it, right? Is, Cowboys versus Eagles, but it's funny because, I saw that a bunch of Eagles fans, like, I know that you guys wasn't excited about the Hurts pick, but, I do a lot of draft content, of course. So I was. Okay. Yeah. So
I'm a Hurts fan, baby.
So yeah, so you're wrong, man. So you get to beat on your chest like some other people. You don't get to beat on your chest. Yeah. But me personally, I was, right, because I watched him at OU, and I also watched him in the Alabama game, and when he got benched versus Clemson for Tua, and list goes on and on, right? So you got to remember in that draft what was going on. Dak Prescott was kind of going through a contract situation, and then you had the ankle injury. So I was saying, and Cowboys fans didn't want to hear it, if you want to kind of maybe move on from Dak or put a little pressure on him to get him a cheaper deal, you should draft Jalen Hurts, because they're very similar, not just in skill set, but just with their fortitude, right? Because they're the type of quarterback who's always been kind of counted out. And when you count these people out, they kind of just rise to the occasion. So, I remember doing content back then, and of course, everybody was Wentz. I was like, listen, y'all, Jalen Hurts is going to be y'all starter soon. I don't know when, but it's going to be soon. And of course, I was crazy, but I know when he gets kind of like pushed out or gets counted against, that's when he rises. And the same thing with Dak Prescott. So I see them like being very similar with their leadership, their fortitude. Jalen Hurts, I feel like he's a better athlete than Dak Prescott. Of course, he's younger, right? But I feel like the one thing I see versus Dak that I haven't seen from Hurts yet, which I'm seeing eventually, we'll probably get there, is that Dak is more in command as a quarterback, and that's like the pre-snap, making adjustments, going through full progressions, peer progressions. So he's doing a lot more, and it's because Kellen Moore nerfed him and took away his athleticism and athletic ability and wanted to make him a pocket passer. So, like I said, they're very kind of similar in that capacity, but overall, they're both two great quarterbacks. I know we're supposed to go back and forth, not supposed to hate Jalen, and you're supposed to hate Dak, but when you look at it, they're both incredible quarterbacks, and I think. Not diving too deep in it, but you only put that stigma on being a running quarterback when you're a certain kind of quarterback, if you get what I'm saying, because they don't say that when Josh Allen takes off and runs.
Right. They don't call him a running back.
Yeah, they don't call him a running back.
They don't call him a running back. He's a dynamic quarterback.
Yeah. So it's just like, all right, dynamic, dual threat, or, these different types of things. So, I get it, but overall, I think, you guys are in a good spot. You have a good quarterback, good guy, character. I'm good. I talked to also D Smith's agent as well, and Nicole Lynn. So it's an incredible person with Jalen Hurts. So it's easy to root for, even though he's an Eagles guy. You know what I'm saying? So, but we're both in good situations, and I think that we both got good young quarterbacks.
Two things. Like, do you think that Dak is still the guy that for you guys? Or you guys say? I hear some Cowboy fans talking about it's time to move on. And we're gonna put a pause on that right there. Yeah. And I do want to say that draft, we drafted Dak. Same drafted Carson, right?
Yeah. So 2006
that draft. To be honest, I don't even know if I put it on the record or not. But I wanted Dak. I didn't want to waste that first round pick on Carson. I wanted to wait for Dak that year. Because I felt like he was that scrappy type quarterback that can kind of do what you need to do. And you could have got him in like the third round or, something like not the first pick overall. There are some players in the first round that year. I remember I was like, hey, we need to go get him right now, to solve some problems that we have right now. And we can get away with it with the offensive line that we got. We can get away with it later on by going to go ahead and get a Dak, you know what I'm saying? So I don't hate Dak, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a battle where you got to talk a little trash about
right,
it.
Right. Yeah.
Done some stuff to talk trash about, you know what I'm saying? Like fourth quarter blunders, you know what I'm saying? Like the not spiking the ball things. He just done some stuff. We're not going to get too deep.
But with that, man, it's like people switch the narrative, right? Because they determine what's a big game. So if you go back to last year, right? When's the last time the Dallas Cowboys had won a road playoff game? Probably don't know. It was 95, right? When's the last time the Dallas Cowboys had beaten Tom Brady? It was never. They never beat him in the entire existence of Tom Brady. So Dak goes out versus Tampa Bay, plays lights out when everyone was counting against him and ends Tom Brady's career. It's just like, well, that was just Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, or when Dak in the playoff game pretty much took the Cowboys on his back on a 3rd and 15 versus the Legion of Boom and the prime Russell Wilson and wills us to that win. Like that doesn't count. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people pick and choose what Cowboys games they want to count for Dak Prescott. I mean, even if you go back to the Christmas game versus you guys last year, even though Jalen Hurts was out, like Gardner Minshew threw for 355 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it wasn't like,
but he had 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
That's the part that was the problem.
But your defense was still there, and Dak also spotted you guys that pick 6. So what I'm saying is, like, the defense was still intact, and Dak had to put up 40 points. Like, we needed all those 40 points to win that game. But it's like, that don't count. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
everybody say that because Gardner, everybody know Jalen wasn't a turnover machine that year. If Jalen would have gave you guys the ball that many times, you know that
he gave us 2 times, right? Or did he fumble one too? I know he had
he 2 picks and a fumble that game.
Right? Yeah.
And that was horrible. Like in terms of I know he threw some yards, whatever. You know, I was never a huge Minshew fan.
I mean, but Minshew's out there working with Shane out there in Indy right now.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that here.
And like the defense was still intact. Everybody was there, and that was Dak Prescott. Even after the stupid pick 6, on Christmas, so he really had to shake things off and get surgical for us to win that game, and even with the T.Y. Hilton throw. So he don't get credit for that. So I get it, right? It's Dallas, and everybody's focusing on the big game, but to turn
that's what it's really about, I think, with him. It's just like how far you can get in the playoffs.
Yeah, but which I get. Yeah, that's for any quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they'll pinpoint that for Dak, but it's like Lamar Jackson ain't been in no big game. Josh Allen ain't been in no Super Bowl. Like Justin Herbert ain't won a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? So like they give all these other quarterbacks so many praises, and then it's like, is Dak? Can Dak? I'm like, well, can these? You know what I'm saying?
And
so
you just think too, Dak is always going to be more glamorized because he's on the Cowboys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? America's team. They don't want all these Super Bowls in the past. The fan base is waiting for another one. They just want you to go far. I think it's not even really a whole nother Super Bowl. Just show me that you can make it to the NFC Championship.
But that's where we defer, y'all. Like I tell people this: if we get to the NFC Championship, okay, boom, we beat San Fran. Finally, Dak gets through San Fran. Let's say we go up to Seattle and we beat Seattle, and we lose to y'all in the NFC Championship. No one's gonna give us no credit. Like y'all gonna talk the same stuff that y'all talked. You know what I'm saying, before. So it's like at the end of the day, the Cowboys have to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Just getting to an NFC Championship, just getting to a Super Bowl isn't going to be enough. I'm like, even for a Cowboys fan, I'm not happy that we went to a Super Bowl and lost. I'm actually more pissed because that means I spent more money going up there to the game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right? Watching you guys. Man,
the Super Bowl, you losing the wild card for a whole lot cheaper. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I'm telling you.
It's championship or bust, but it shouldn't just be that for the Cowboys. It should be that for everybody. I mean, I'm not sure you guys would be satisfied this year.
No, I wasn't satisfied.
Champion. Yeah, you're not satisfied. Like that's when you guys come here to Kansas City, y'all gonna have that hunger pain. Like, nah, we shouldn't have lost that game. It's not like, at least we made it. Like
we lost too. Like we're up by like double digit halftime.
Yeah, Mahomes on one leg, you know what I'm saying? So
but all of a sudden he come out of halftime running like you think he Barry Sanders. Like, what's going on, man? Like that was a horrible game, and I was definitely a heartbreaker because I knew we won our second championship. I knew it. It was a wrap. It was a done deal, and it did not happen. It really saddened me a lot. It saddened me a whole lot.
So it's either you win or you the first loser, man. That's what I'm trying to explain to people. And honestly, like people get on me, but I tell them winning championship is overrated. If he's like, Tuck, what are you saying? I'm like, it's winning. It's like it's literally a 2-month high because I live here in Kansas City. They were excited. There's confetti, parades, all that. And as soon as the draft happened here in April, they was complaining about their draft pick. They hated the draft pick. They hated that they didn't get, like, you're right back on the same cycle. You know what I'm saying? So you right back into it. It's not like you win a championship and you fade away. Like, nah, you right back on that roller coaster.
I just think, like, when your team that won, like, you know what? They won, 2 in like 4-year span or something like that? Went to 3 and 1, 2,
but
right?
But after waiting 50 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
think you look at your window you have open, like, and even their window right now, I'm not even thinking it's too bright right now. I know they went and got Mooney from the Bears today, but I don't think he's good enough to really amp them up to where they need to be. I'm ready. I'm excited for that game. But let's get back to our game here. Okay, so you would say right now in their state, Jalen has never not made it to the playoffs. Let's just start with that. First round knockout and then Super Bowl. Is that enough in a small stand of things? Runner-up MVP, All-Pros, second team All-Pro. Those are things. Have Dak even reached those levels in terms of where you can consider, you can see why people are saying Jalen's better than Dak right now?
No, I just feel like what people are saying is Jalen's better than Dak right now because of what Jalen's season last year. Right, because before last year, nobody was even having this conversation because the Eagles are also considering bringing in Russell Wilson at that point, right? So I feel like after what Jalen had was pretty much arguably the MVP season last year, of course, it kind of boosted him what he did last year. But if you go back to 2021, which I think was Dak Prescott's best season in his career, if you look at what Aaron Rodgers did in his MVP season compared to Dak Prescott, I think Dak threw 4 more interceptions, and that was the difference. So Dak has had these types of seasons. It didn't just translate to ultimate team success, right? So I think that's the one difference with Jalen. But from my standpoint, when it comes to Jalen, can he do it on a consistent basis, right? Because before last year, there was turnovers, there was mishaps. But the thing that the Eagles did, which the Cowboys just refused to do, bro, it's like, I'm not going to let my quarterback go out like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they had Jalen Hurts on that cheap deal. So they went and got A.J. Brown. I mean, they went and got D. Smith. They went and lowered the clip and, built the offensive line and lowered the defense. So they put everything around Jalen. So if last year, if it crapped out, then okay, maybe he's not the guy. Versus the Cowboys do a little bit different. they gonna pull out everything away from you. They gonna take your Amari Cooper away from you. They gonna take.
But you had him. You guys had a two receiver, 1,000-yard rusher on your team,
and they pulled him away. Huh?
But still didn't go, didn't get up there. Didn't
you
go.
got to think about what really transpired that season, right? So when you had him in 2020, Dak broke his ankle, right? And then boom, we got the CeeDee Lamb year, and that was Dak's best season in 2021. And we lost to San Fran at home. And then you already had, but even with that season, right, the 2021 year, you got to understand with Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb, that was the COVID restriction. So, Cooper wasn't vaccinated, so he would miss 2 games, and then you would miss game with CeeDee Lamb, and then Michael. So like you never really had that core in sync throughout the course of the season. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to the playoffs, you just got clipped, right? But so I just think that you just never just went and just loaded the clip for Dak Prescott versus what the Eagles are doing now, and that's why you see Cowboys fans today just frustrated as hell, like. Why not go all in? Like, what's to lose? But the Cowboys are always thinking futuristic versus you guys are thinking right now, win right now. Right now, you have the best record in the NFL. Why not go get you a safety? They watched that game. They saw Tyreek Hill get over top of that cover too. They said, nope, can't do it. Let's go get a safety. All pro, what do you need? Let's go get it fixed. Versus the Cowboys, they got complacent. Look at our last 2 games. We got wins. We blew out the Rams. He said, no, we're good. We're good. And I think that's the difference between, what you guys are doing and what we're doing over here, which is frustrating. So,
yeah. So obviously you're still with the Dak train. I see. And yeah. I just, not even homerish. I just like what Jalen's doing right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And I have to go with my quarterback. That's just, we can draw off that one.
Right. But I feel like it's tomato, right? If you have Jalen at a 10, then Dak's a 8.5 or a 9. Big deal.
My deal is like you can do the touchdowns, you can do the yards, you can do whatever you want. To me, it's about winning football games. And no matter what, even if he's throwing 2 interceptions in game, you know what I'm saying, which doesn't really, like last year, he didn't have that many turnovers. This year, he's kind of been a little heavy on the turnovers. They're playing him a little differently. He's on one leg out there, and it's still no excuse. But every time he turns the ball over, he makes up for it. You know what I'm saying? There hasn't really been a game yet where he hasn't came back and made up for it. And then that's the heart, the determination that I like to see from your quarterback. When he does mess up, it's kind of like, remember Michael Jordan back in the day? Like if Michael Jordan, you did something Michael Jordan pisses him off, he coming back hard on you. Like when Reggie Miller, I'm a huge Pacer fan. When Reggie Miller shoved him in that game, I think it was a game 6 or so. He shoved Jordan and shot that 3 in his face, and he was all, yeah. What did Michael Jordan do the next week? The next game, he came back and destroyed him. And that's kind of like the die-hard killer instinct that I think hurts Scott. And I think he's only going to get better. Like you say, he's only 24 years old.
Right.
He got the bag already. He got the best offensive line in football right now. Most of the players that we got, skill position players around him, they're signed for another at least 2 years, not to really worry about having to re-up them. Re-up on too many. I think Smitty's contract's coming up, but other than that, the rest of these casters here, for most of the duration of his contract. So that's why I give it to him. I
think that's a luxury as of right now that Jalen Hurts gets that Dak Prescott doesn't get. You know what I'm saying? Like Dak doesn't get the luxury of as long as we win. Because what is everyone saying right now, right? Because even when we were winning game, when we came out and beat the Giants and beat the Jets, everybody was saying, well, your defense is scoring points. What about the red zone efficiency? But we're winning by 40. You know what I'm saying? He didn't throw any interceptions, but it's just like, okay, he wasn't putting up the yardage and the godly numbers. So it's always just going to be something. It's just different for Dak than it's going to be for Jalen. Because if you even
Jalen still gets the running quarterback thing.
Yeah, I mean, because
last year he was top in terms of big play scoring and passing wise, in the pocket, he was top 5. He's like top 5 in all the main passing categories for you can kind of get that stigma off of him, and you still get it this year.
Well, if you go back,
run the ball this year.
If you go back, 4 games, he hadn't run the ball. Dak's rookie season in 2016 when he went on 11-game winning streak as a 4th-round quarterback, what did everybody label Dak? Game manager. He was using Zeke. It was because of Zeke. It was because of the offense. So there's no win or lose for Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? Like he has to play well. He has to win. He has to throw for 300 yards. He has to, you know what I'm saying? He can't throw with intercept. Like it's just different. So that's why I personally encourage Cowboys fans don't get caught up in it because it's always going to be a moving goalpost. Jalen gets it slightly because of the tough media in Philadelphia, but since you guys are the anti-quarterback or anti-Cowboys, they got to put Dak against somebody, so it's easiest to put him against Hurts. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah, I get it, man. It's you know what I'm saying?
The stigma.
Yeah,
We both dealing with it.
Yeah. So
run game, you guys,
and you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Let's go to the run game. You guys lost Zeke this offseason. You know, we picked up Swift this offseason. We just picked up Penny, but he hasn't even played the game yet. But, you know, Swift is leading the division in rushing right now. How do you like the run game without Zeke? Do you miss Zeke at all? Are you guys still missing anything there? Or you guys think you guys are all set there at that running back position?
Yeah, this is where I defer with a lot of Cowboys fans, and they jump me today, but we are missing Zeke. And here's what happens, right? People will sit back and say, oh, just look at the stat sheet. Look what he's doing in New England. Like, we're not missing that. But they don't understand the physicality of the game of football. It's a lot different from tackling Tony Pollard from tackling Ezekiel Elliott coming downhill. So he's always had that 1-2 punch. And when it comes to Zeke and also Tony Pollard has never been a bell cow quarterback. Even in high school, he wasn't. In college, he wasn't. And now all of a sudden you want to give him 25 carries, have him in pass pro and doing a multitude of different things. That's not his game because you're wearing down his tread. It was Ezekiel Elliott punching. And here comes Tony Pollard with the knockout blow. So we 1,000% miss Zeke, but a lot of Cowboys fans' ego and pride won't let them admit that. But I think it's what we're missing right now is we're missing the power run game. Like we have a Hunter Luepke, we have Rico Dowdle, who's an undrafted guy who showed a lot of promise, but he'll get 3 carries a game. Like if you watched last week, he got 4 carries, and on 1 carry, he had a 9-yard gain. It's just like, all right, and he pulled him out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like until we can really show and prove that we can run the ball and run that power game, teams aren't going to respect it. And like I said, this Sunday, going against the best run defense in the NFL, we're going to have to commit to it because if you abandon the run and want to drop back and pass 40, 50 times, then that allows, your guys to go out there and, Reddick and, list goes on and on, Jalen Carter to go out there and hunt, and you don't want to be in that situation. So the Cowboys are going to have to figure things out from a personnel standpoint, but also from a schematic standpoint when it comes to the running game. So, yeah, I mean, long story short, I would welcome Zeke back. I said it today, like, just go get the man back or something, but something has to give. And as of right now, the Cowboys have to figure it out.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying about that whole Zeke thing because he's over there with a bunch of young cats that are getting the ball over there in New England. Like, he's not getting that much. I think he just scored a touchdown last week. I seen him out there scoring a touchdown. But that's not his thing, man. Like, his thing is the bruiser. And I think that's, like, kind of like last year, our running game, everybody, like, loved Kenny Gainwell. Kenny Gainwell. But I'm like, you not realize Booby was doing all the work. And then Gainwell come in and sprinkle up something nice on top, you know what I'm saying? Like something nice. He was never a featured back. So when they started out the year, like, Gainwell starting running back, I'm like, no. I don't care if you got Gainwell and Penny. He's not a number one. You know what I'm saying? You keep him coming in on rotation. That's his game. That's what he needs to do. When everybody's tired, he come in with his little quick feet, go do his thing, you know what I'm saying? But I'm happy we do got Swift, who's definitely doing damage. And I don't even believe we're using – I feel like what we're doing with Swift and what we did – to Miles Sanders 2 years ago.
Right.
Last year we gave Miles the ball, but the year before he wasn't really giving the ball enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like even though Swift does have some good yards, he's made some great runs. I think they're more conservative on keeping him healthy throughout the season and make sure he's healthy for the playoffs. But man, forget that. Run him more. You know what I'm saying? They can't just be first quarter, fourth quarter, maybe one in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep the guy fresh throughout the whole game. There's enough ball. We don't throw the ball. We don't run the ball enough, really. Like, not giving the ball when it's just, when it's time to get the ball. You see Game will get in there and do his little thing. But, he's also made mistakes. He's also not hit holes like you see a Swift out there doing. So, like, I think our running back room itself is better, but the running back game is not better. We got a new offensive coordinator. He does run different run plays. You know what I'm saying? We're not running so much of that RPO stuff as much as we did last year, where, Jalen was really holding these linebackers or these running backs to have these wide open holes, going to go through their thing. Now it's more traditional style running back, running the ball, shotgun formation, handoffs and stuff like that. You don't have so much of that RPO stuff. But I think Swift is a good enough back to have when you have that kind of style.
Right. And if you go ask Cowboys fans what their thoughts on Zeke, if he's going on Twitter right now, Zeke is washed. Zeke is old. He's trash. He doesn't
I
have.
wanted Zeke.
Well, here's the crazy part. They're not going to tell you the fact that he had 800 yards and 12 touchdowns last year. And a lot of his touchdowns, guess where they came from? In the red zone. Where are the Cowboys struggling scoring? In the red zone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they don't think about that. They're looking at the stat sheet. They see the yards per carry. Like it's like fantasy football. It's like when you look at everything from totality, it's like, bro, like there was a punishing back. It's like for you guys, when it's 3rd and 1, you know, okay, here comes the tush push. You not have to worry about any of that. You just know what's coming, right? Just like with us last year. When it's 3rd and 1, we're giving it to Zeke. You know what I'm saying? We give it to Zeke right at the gut. Is his 3rd and goal. Zeke right at the gut, and he's gonna get that extra dirty, grimy yard. Now for Tony Pollard, he just like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, because even it was 4th and 1 last week, instead of running the ball, we went 5 wide. You know what I'm saying? Like it changes your thought process and your play calling when you don't have that guy that's reliable and your go-to no matter what, rain, sleet, or snow, that you can depend on, and not just talking about his pass protection as well. That helps as well. You know what I'm saying? So you know, but I try.
How you like the brotherly shove, baby? How you like it? Are you scared of it? Because I think it's one of the most intimidating plays in football right now. You know, because if you know what's about to happen, you know, you know when they line up, this is coming to you. You know what I'm saying? And for them to be that successful, what are we? I think we're like 96%.
Right.
You know, again, that's like 1, and sometimes it's even 2 yards we get off the play.
Right.
You know, it does come from having the best offensive line in football. It does have a quarterback. And I think that's the key that a lot of teams are trying to play and not getting it. They don't have a quarterback that squats that much. They don't have a quarterback that much of an athlete, you know, that can put that much pressure on it. You know, you got an all-pro center, J.C. Kelsey, and then you got Landon Dickerson, one of the biggest guards, one of the best guards in football. And then you got a quarterback that's also squats 600 pounds, pushing a pal, you know, with everybody else behind him. I just think that teams try to play, they don't succeed on it because they just don't have all those ingredients that makes the play.
And honestly, like a lot of people talk about when it comes to the tush push, I think you guys call it the Philly shove or whatever.
The brotherly shove, brother.
Brotherly shove, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Some, whatever y'all call it, man. I like the tush push, man. Y'all actually need to make some tush push merch and give it to some of those Eagles later. But that's a whole nother conversation. But what I'm saying, like, even though it does take the offensive line and it does take the quarterback with the caliber of Jalen Hurts, I think the most important thing that it really plays into is the mindset of your offense. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just that culture that goes into, like, it's 31, 4th and 1 effort. We're going for it. You know what I'm saying? And that's a championship mindset. If you go back to the Jimmy Johnson, you know, Dallas Cowboys era when we were winning championships, it was like, we don't care what you do, what you know, we're going to line up and give it to Emmitt Smith behind this offensive line, and there's nothing you can do about it. And we're going to do it over and over and over. And if you remotely even think that you're going to stop it, then we'll hit you with Michael Irvin. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you guys were running the tush push over and over and over. And then last week, you pulled it, you know what I'm saying? I think it was to Swift on the outside, you know what I'm saying? Because you had a play off of it. So it's like, it's a mindset thing when it comes to, I can't just say, you know what? The Bengals, go run the tush push. It's not in your DNA right now. It's not in you right now. You can't just put a random team, because even we tried to run it, it didn't work because you're not used to it. It's not a mindset that we're going to get this no matter what. So, you know, I know some people are trying to stop it. They probably are, you know what I'm saying? But
I think they tried last year and they denied stopping it. I don't know why. It's a play. It's a legal play. You can't stop it. Because it works especially.
Because honestly, I don't think you even need the push for Jalen Hurts, to be honest with you. I think if you just ran the quarterback sneak, you'll probably still get. Now, will it be as efficient? Probably not. But I still think, like you said, an all-pro center and pretty much a strong bull at quarterback, it's damn near like you're having a tight end, you know, run the play. So it's just like, I think it would still work even without the push. But like I said, it's just a mindset. So how do you stop it? Don't let them get in short yardage situations. That's the way to stop it.
That's the only way, really, because like I think that's it. Because I'm starting to notice we do it more and more throughout the game. Like the other game, we had 5. You know, we did like 5 times in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you got 4 times in the game. It's like we're doing it to. I think it like does something to the will of a defense.
It breaks the spirit.
It breaks the spirit.
For me who play linebacker, there's nothing demoralizing than knowing what's coming and you can't stop it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just breaks your spirit. And that's what Zeke was to us. When you're tired, it's the 4th quarter, you know, you've been huffing and puffing. Okay, cool. We're going to hand the ball at 21. He's going to hit you again, hit you 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, first down, 3 yards, 2. So it brings down your spirit. It's the same thing with that tush push, because it's like, bro, we stacking everybody up. It was 3rd and 1. We stopped them short. It's inches. Okay, well, damn it, it's 4th and inches. They're going for it right back at you. Here's the first down. Like, it just wears you down.
Yeah.
Point, you know what I'm saying? And then, then you
It's
get
a man-on-man, mano-mano play too. Like, I even see these guys, like, they knew it was coming. They like, these guys are trying to get the low as they possibly can to try to stop this play, and they couldn't stop it. Like, and it's like keep doing it, man. Do it all the way to Super Bowl. If we gotta win the Super Bowl off of a tush push or brotherly shove, hey, we won. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, and like you said, we even have plays off of that sweep. I think it was the first time we ran that sweep. I remember last year we did it, and we did a little pop pass. You know what I'm saying? So when you sprinkle in a couple of these extra little side plays, that messes up the defense even more. That was even when my co-host on OG call. Shout out to OG Wade. And he was like, I know how to stop the tush push. I know how to stop it. He goes, what I'll do is I'll take my linebackers out, my safeties out. He's like, my safeties out, my cornerbacks out, and I'll stack my offensive lineman in the middle, you know what I'm saying, with my defensive lineman behind them. And then that's how you stop. I go, man, what are you going to do? You do that when you go throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no real way to stop it unless you can balls up and stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got the big dogs up front that can do it.
I know how to stop it. I know how to stop it. If NFL teams want it out the NFL, y'all just have to run it and start acting like your quarterback is getting hurt doing it, because that's the
I know they try to say that about Brock Purdy. That's doing it. They made this huge thing about it.
Yeah, that's the way. Like 49ers are dirty, bro. They say, we tried to run the tush push and we had to put Brock Purdy in concussion. Like, the NFL will pull the cord on anything for a quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Like, man, that was
if the Chiefs run the tush push and they pretend that Pat Mahomes got hurt, it'll be over next week.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah. They'll get all that up out there.
That's a $500 million man. It's bad.
Hell no, you can't be losing no Pat Mahomes, no tush push, man. But that's pretty much the only way you probably gonna stop it. So I mean, eventually someone's gonna crack the code on it, but it's gonna take a while.
We stopped ourselves last week with fumble.
Yeah, it's making fumble. Yeah,
like, that can always stop it. So you jump the snap, and get a bad bad handoff. Let's move on to the receiving game, man. We got, arguably the best receiver duo to me in the league right now. Especially. I would even say like the best 4 receivers now that we got Julio Jones. I know he's kind of older, whatever, but like him not having to be a feature role is kind of a good role for a guy like him, to come in here. You got Dallas Goedert, one of the best tight ends in the game. And then you got AJ, who's just broke the record for the most consecutive 125-yard games, 6 straight games over 125 yards. And Devontae Smith always doing his thing, man. The Slim Reaper, he just wants his touches now. He's like, AJ came over here, he's taking all my stuff. I need to get my stuff too. And he's still doing his thing out there.
Killing my fantasy team, man. Like, what's going on with D?
How do you feel about AJ? Is he the best receiver in the game to you? Let's start out with that, because I think, I know a lot of people give it to Tyreek Hill. A lot of people, want to say Tyreek Hill. And like, Cheetah is the man. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like AJ is like more of an overall receiver. Cheetah beats you because he's just fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of the plays you see Cheetah down the field, he just outran everybody. He could be double coverage. He's outrunning the coverage. He's just so fast. It's hard to really stop him in that aspect. But we did a great job. I think he only had like 80 yards on us or something like that when we played Miami. Like, we did a great job with him, but other teams are really struggling against him. And AJ's consistent. Like, to be the first guy ever. Like, this is Jerry Rice, this is Megatron, this is Randy Moss, this is Irvin, this is ever to have 6 consecutive games in a row. It's hard to say anybody else is better than him right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, I still got Tyreek Hill over him. And then, of course, Justin Jefferson's out, So, I got AJ in my top 10, you know what I'm saying? Like, overall, it's like where to have a place. Some of this just really just depends, right? And here's what I've been trying to explain to people. It's like, yeah, he's putting amazing feet, and I like AJ Brown. He's tough, he's physical. I think he's bringing a certain attitude to your offense. But until I see it versus another killer, I really can't buy into it. And you see what I'm saying? Because
what do you mean?
Because tell me the corners he's faced when he went on the 6 game.
How many corners in a game is your question? Like, they double team him. They watch him throughout every corner out.
But I was saying, like, we didn't get to see that matchup. You know what I'm saying? You didn't get to see that matchup because Sauce was out versus the Jets. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, I can't. I mean, the Ram. Who's the Rams corners? Rams corners aren't good. New England corners aren't good. Bucks corners aren't
New
good.
England got some good. Wait.
Dolphins, Jalen
New
Ramsey.
England got that rookie corner or that second year corner that's pretty good out there in New
Who?
England. What was his name? Because I know
Jones.
we wanted to draft him too.
Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah, Gonzalez over there.
Did Christian Gonzalez play a game? I'm trying to remember.
He played against him.
Christian Gonzalez.
Who's Minnesota cornerback?
That's what I'm saying. So it wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
He's trying to say there was no dog.
That's what I'm saying.
Sauce Garner.
He didn't play that game. He was out with concussion.
Yeah,
he didn't play.
Sauce was out the game.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So it's like,
but he's still getting double coverage though. Like
right. But do I think AJ's talented?
Dalen's still throwing the man the ball and he's splitting coverage.
Yeah, the catch he did last week versus Washington was amazing. You know what I'm saying? So he's extremely talented. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I just haven't seen like, okay, boom, you have AJ Brown going against Jalen Ramsey, and he, you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't
see that too about Tyreek this year. Who is he really win against? When he went against good cornerbacks like Darius Slay, he got shut down.
True. Well, he didn't get shut down, but he didn't.
80 yards. When you're boosting up yards all year. He didn't really have no real big plays on it.
Yeah, I agree. It's like I said, there's still, you know what I'm saying, a lot to be seen. Like I'll see it, but like I just
before JJ got hurt, everybody's like he's the best receiver in the game.
And see, me personally, like I'm probably alone. Like I like Justin Jefferson, but I just haven't had the feeling of a Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver game, because we played Minnesota a lot, and like every time we played him, he's been a non-factor. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, it's just hard, right? But for me, it's like I have Tyreek Hill as my number one, and then you got to talk about. I mean, even though Devontae Adams is stuck in, you know, in Raiders, I probably have him two. And then Jamar Chase.
Give Adams nothing no more, man. Like,
yeah, Adams is nice, bro.
With the Raiders, though, he's not nothing.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, you still got to do it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just
do you think that, and this is the whole tweet that everyone's been pulling on me on Twitter, right? It's like, do you think if we swapped AJ Brown out and gave you guys Devontae Adams, you still wouldn't be having the same impact?
No. I don't. AJ's faster than Devontae Adams. That's a part of his game, too. He's more of a physical receiver than Devontae Adams. Like, I think Devontae Adams would be nice on the team, but I don't think he's doing what AJ. Like, AJ's biggest thing was, you got to look at what AJ did in that run system offense in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? They ran the ball like 100 times a game, but AJ was still a top 10 receiver all those years still. He just didn't. If you looked at everybody else, they had over 100 more targets than he had a year. You know what I'm saying? But his numbers in terms of yards and all that stuff was still right there with the best. You know, but he just didn't get the opportunity. Now he's on the Eagles roster that we do throw the football a lot more than, you know, Tennessee, and now you're starting to see the excellence come out of him. You know?
He has last year in Tennessee like 1,500 or something like that. I forgot, but like I said, he's in there, right? So I would say he's probably top 5. You know what I'm saying? He's in the top 5 conversation where you want to put him, you know, perfectly fine. I just can't put him as my top. You know what I'm saying? Because I just haven't seen that matchup. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, all right, damn, AJ was in a dogfight and he, you know what I'm saying?
And what I see about them is they got that Adams-Rodgers connection already. Like last year, AJ broke our record for most yards by a receiver by Eagle, right? And Devontae broke the record for most receptions by Eagle, right?
Because was Devontae the most targeted last year, right?
I think he had more target, but AJ had more yards.
I got fooled in fantasy because he was the most targeted, so I went with him.
Yeah. And then this year, it's just like that chemistry from the two. You know, it's just like Jalen doesn't care, man. He just throws the ball to him. Like, it's like when Rodgers feels comfortable with Adams. Rodgers, a lot of those MVPs because Adams was out there doing things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For Rodgers, it wasn't 100% Rodgers. It was like Adams, like, you just throw it to me, dog. And plus, he's taller. He's a bigger receiver. And he was catching everything, man, in his prime. And I think that's what the chemistry is right now. Like, they're still like, AJ did that same play in practice, and he called it one-handed. AJ practiced one-hand catches all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a strong – he reminds me like a baby T.O. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a baby T.O., but he's like a little bit faster than T.O., and he can run the route tree. That's the thing. Is like, if you know it's like 3rd and 7, AJ about to run a slant on your ass, like, period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what corner you really got out there.
Right.
Jalen throw that football as a first down, you know, at the end of the day, because he's really good with his positioning. You know, he knows how to position other people out of the way to make sure that he gets the football.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I like that's the slight I do give over Tyreek. Like, not saying Tyreek, he's a little bit smaller receiver. He's faster, obviously, but AJ still runs the 4.3, so he's still fast. He's just not cheetah fast, and Tyreek isn't like no wuss. It's not like he's Deshaun Jackson, like where he's skinny Bone Jones but fastest. You know what I'm saying? He actually does got some power to his game too. It's just a point. I don't know, man. I just feel like he'll outrun your double coverage, and AJ will outmuscle your double coverage. They're two different type of receivers.
Right.
But, obviously he's on my team, so I'm giving him the edge. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about this, Tamar, too. What happened if he does it? Like, he just broke the record now, and we are only, 8 games into the season? You know what I'm saying? Like, 8 games into the season. What happens if he does it for, and extends his record out?
Then it's going to change the conversation completely. You know what I'm saying? It would be something historically that's never been done.
With you guys.
Now, honestly,
I would have Diggs. So if he does it again against you guys, would that take away, or do you think Bland, is that his name, Bland, is good enough to actually hold his own against AJ?
The only thing I'm worried about, I think coverage-wise, sticking in his pocket as far as the route's concerned, I'm perfectly fine with our corners. The key is stopping AJ, and we'll talk about this tomorrow on my film breakdown, is that when the play breaks down and Jalen goes to the scramble and you lose sight of him, that's when AJ gets over the top. And also you have to be able to come up front and tackle him too, because I think he's one of the best yak guys in there. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm really worried about, because Bland is a coverage guy, you know what I'm saying? But when you got to come down and line up, and like AJ reminds me a lot of Dez, you know what I'm saying? It's like that Dez mentality, right? But I think he's a little bit more cleaner with this route running, but it's like when you have to come down and make a life decision as a corner, you got to think about it when it comes to AJ Brown. So, honestly, though, I would be shocked if he went for 125 versus Dallas, though, to be honest with you. Me personally, I am worried about AJ because that's where the offense is stemmed through. But the players that scare me the most is D. Smith, the route runners, the crispier route runners that can chop you up underneath, and also the Dallas Goederts. Like, those scares me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what really scares me. But we also got to be prepared, because AJ is all he needs is one big play. You know what I'm saying? Like, all he needs is one big play and one big opportunity. And thus far this season, he's been making it happen. So,
who are you putting on him? Are you putting Gilmore on him, or are you letting Blade ride with him?
I think they're gonna put Gil on him. I think they're gonna have to put Gil on him. I just think because of the size. You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like Bland's a smaller guy. I think that you need him for the choppier, shiftier D. Smith. So, but of course they're gonna travel. They're gonna move him around. Probably a little bit as well. So I think Bland will be ready for that matchup, but I think overall this is going to be Gilly's job, which is unfortunate because I keep saying, like, Gilly signed up to be a substitute teacher. You know what I'm saying? He didn't sign up to be a principal. But when Diggs goes down, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's on him to take these matchups now, because even though Bland has played well and he's our ball hawk, quote unquote, Gil is our number one corner, and he's a lot older, and that's not really what you signed up for. So the Trayvon Diggs loss really hurt us. That's why I was beating the ground to go get another corner, you know what I'm saying? Because we got some killers. We got, AJ Brown and D. Smith twice. And then you got, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got some killers, and you got a DK Metcalf, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of killers coming up. Like, it's a strong ass for an older corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't sign up for this, bro. Like, I wanted to be a cool little cornerback number 2. You know,
my little brother out there doing the big stuff. I came over here cleaning up. Like,
you would have had Bland. You would have had Diggs out there, and so maybe you covering Quez Watkins, or you're covering Julio Jones or something like that. But it's like, nah, you got this monster in AJ, and it's like, all right, but we'll see.
Let's talk about defensive lines here. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know offensive lines. You know what time it is. I know you guys are looking for Tyron Smith to come back. And you guys got a good offensive line over there, especially if he's back. You definitely got to worry about that. But how do you feel about your defensive line? And even Micah Parsons as a whole. Micah Parsons wants to be an Eagle. I don't know if you've seen it. Micah Parsons wants to be an Eagle so bad. How did you feel about it when he said that Eagle was the best team in the NFL? Do you feel like it was more of just a guy on his podcast talking facts? Or do you think – because I really feel like over the last year, Micah's been slowly throwing out little – trinkets saying, hey, I want to go to Philly. I want to be in Philly. He's a Philly guy. And I want to go to Philly. Like, do you think that when he plays against Philly, he's also a no-go. Like, he has no sacks. Lane Johnson locks his ass down. Yeah. So how do you feel about the D-line and Parsons?
Nah, he don't want to play in Philly. He's making way too much money off the field to play for Philly. Now, here's the thing about the comments, right? And I talked about this on my show. For us as media content creators, we have to remain uncompromised. You see what I'm saying? Like, we can just speak the truth. I can say I like Jalen Hurts. I can say, I like Jalen Carr. I can say that, right? Because I'm uncompromised. So when you try to straddle the line between being a player in the locker room and also being media, it's like the lines get blurred. So everything that Micah was saying was truthful. You know what I'm saying? At this point, the Eagles are the best team in the NFL, and I think pound for pound, they have the best roster. Mm-hmm. But you play for the team, bro. Let me say that. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what people are mad about.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, and that's the thing. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You can't say that because you are the voice, you're the anchor in the locker room. And a lot of Cowboys fans, they live for this moment. You know what I'm saying? And Eagles fans as well. And what I'm trying to explain, a lot of people get mad at me when I say it, the Eagles and Cowboys aren't a football rivalry. Like, it's not. There's no football rivalry at all on the field, the play. Like, I can't think of something like, damn, if the Eagles wasn't in my way. I don't hate the Eagles players. It's the rivalry amongst the fan base. The fans don't get along with each other. That's what it's really about. The players, they rock with each other. I followed Slay. I like Slay. I follow his wife, like Jiz. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't hate like Eagles players. A lot of them I scouted, like, you know what I'm saying, Grant Calcaterra and Kyon Johnson. Like, those are my guys. You know what I'm saying? Moro Jomo. Like, those are my guys who I loved in the draft. So I don't really hate Eagles players where, I want you to get your head ripped off. It's the fan base amongst the fan base. So for the players, it's different, but it's like anything. If I got ops, I don't want my homeboys talking to the ops. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't, you know what I'm saying, we don't rock with them. So it's just different, when it comes to Micah. So I know a lot of Cowboys fans were mad, but y'all see the jersey back there, man. At this point, man, he has an unlimited credit with me. Micah can do a lot, he can do a lot of things, man, because Micah has saved us in a lot of games, and he's been on A1 since the moment he's been in Dallas. Him talking about the Eagles on the podcast, I could care less, because there's a lot worse he could be out there doing. He could be drunk driving. He could be having a gun under. Like, there's a lot worse that he can really be out there doing. If there's anybody who I trust is going to be prepared for game day and going to give 110%, it's going to be Micah Parsons. So I'm not too
concerned against Lane Johnson.
I mean, but he's still giving 100%. Y'all just scheme properly about him, and it's a lot of stupidity on Dan Quinn's side. And I don't think that's going to be the case on Sunday. I would be shocked if that's the case on Sunday, because
move him around, move him away from Lane.
You have to move him around as a linebacker, because you guys cracked the experiment, right? When he's just playing off the edge, I can run at him, I can run the RPOs off of him, I can chip, I can double team and wear him down, and then on passing downs to shift towards his side. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you can scheme, versus if you come out and now he's not on Lane Johnson, now he's lined up in the A gap, but then he stunts over. You know, it's like there's a lot of different things you can do with him. Micah Parsons is a chess piece. He's not just a defensive end. He's not just a linebacker. You can move him all over and stunt with him, and it makes it more complicated where you have to get up there and locate, okay, where is 11? Okay, why is he over on this side right now? You know what I'm saying? Is he about to blitz in the A gap, or, you know what I'm saying, what's really going on? So
that's what I said about him. Like, that first year, I think he was linebacker. He was moved around a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Where he was playing off the end, but he's also playing in the middle, doing this damage from all over the football field. I think once you guys try to label him as a DN, you know what I'm saying, like trying to just be that end rush linebacker, I think that's when this game kind of not take a toll, because he's still a dominant football player, but it's not the same anymore. People, like you said, people can scheme him a lot better when he's on that end over there. So better keep him all over the place. So I hope you guys just keep at that end. You know what I'm saying? Let him go against Lane Johnson.
Remember, when we drafted him, like, the only reason he ever played in is because DeMarcus Lawrence got hurt, and we were
I remember that.
When we had nobody else to go to. So we're like, all right, well, maybe we can try this. And we tried it versus the Chargers. We're like, oh, it worked. You know what I'm saying? So continue to do that, but that's not his natural position. Like, he's a linebacker. He can scrape, because, I mean, there's plays, and I did it on my channel, when he's playing, like, there was a play versus the 49ers. They put him at linebacker, and when he scraped and got to Christian McCaffrey, it was just collision course. I'm like, that's what you need him doing. Like, you just need to move him all over, and maybe on third down you let him pass rush. But he's more than just a pass rusher. But everybody wants the pass rushing money. So here's what's going to happen. They're going to play him at pass rusher. They're going to try to pay him like a linebacker. And that's where you get pissed. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about the rest of this D-line, man. What about you guys? Because I remember when the draft came, everyone like, Mozzie better than Carter. Mozzie better than Carter. How you guys feel about your draft pick now? that were 8 games in.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't me.
That
Carter
wasn't me,
no
bro.
beast.
Like, well, here's the thing. Even before the draft even happened, my shout out to my guy McCoy. He tried to make this film session of Mozzie Smith is better than Jalen Carter, and I was like, nah, bro, you tripping? Like, you hella tripping, bro. Like, and then, what I'm saying, and I tell people this, right? This is being uncompromised. I would have had Jalen Carter as the number 1 player on my draft board if it wasn't for the off the field stuff. That's the only reason I said on my show is like he's not number 1. I'm talking over CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Anderson, all of them. I just the off the field stuff. That was it. But player for player, man, Jalen Carter was outstanding. You know what I'm saying? And I remember being in the damn draft room with my guy next to my guy Joe Castro. Salute to my guy Joe Castro.
That's true.
Elbowing me. We about to get Jalen Carter. Like, bro, I know. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, shut up, bro. I know y'all about to do it, man. You know what I'm saying? So phenomenal player. Now, when it comes to our draft, it's it's really I mean, only 2 of them are active on game days. You know what I'm saying? So you have Mozzie Smith, Luke Schoonmaker. Now, Mozzie was going to be a slow play regardless. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of helping the interior. But I would like to see a little bit more impact. And Luke Schoonmaker, our tight end number 2. I mean, he finally got like one of his second catches of the season last Sunday. So it really just hasn't had the impact thing. I mean, Demarion Overshown, I think, was going to have our biggest impact towards ACL in preseason. The Deuce Vaughn experiment didn't work. Since the list goes on and on. So overall, when it comes to our draft class, I'm kind of just, to be honest with you. Our undrafted guys, that's where we find a lot of our success. You know what I'm saying? With Wanye Thomas, and you have Marquise Bell and Hunter Lukey. Our defensive line, man, that's the strength of our team. That's our our go-to, man, with DeMarcus Lawrence, Osa Digizua, who's playing like one of the best defensive tackles in all of football. Big Jonathan Hankins is our nose tackle, is an unknown guy. And then you have Micah Parsons, Sam Williams, Lawrence Armstrong, also Dante Fowler. List goes on and on. So the defensive lines are our strongest point defensively, and it might be our strongest unit as far as our entire team. But then outside of that, with the linebacker position, that's where it gets kind of a little scarce. We have some younger guys who are starting to step up. In the absence of LVE, who got his neck injury, I think he's back next week or possibly 2 weeks from now. But it just gets young. And then our corners, they're playing kind of in the absence of Trayvon Diggs. Our safeties, I expect them to play a whole lot better. Coming off what they did last year, they kind of just been kind of okay. But I think they can really step up and fill that void for our corners, especially this Sunday. But overall, defense is our unit. That's our go-to. That's where we got to hang our hat on. If they break, it's going to be tough sledding for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm just hoping, my boy Byard come in and do what he does. Byard got 3 picks on Dak.
Yeah.
He got Dak's number over there. But another guy on our defensive line, everybody likes to talk about, Jalen Carter, because he is having a good, start to be a rookie. Like, I wanted, obviously, Bijan Robinson, and I was on the Bijan train for sure. If Atlanta didn't get him, I was like, we're getting him for sure.
She ended up with Swift, too. You know what I'm saying? So you ended up with,
we wouldn't have got him, I don't think.
No, I'm saying, but you ended up with Swift instead. You know what I'm saying? So you got Swift.
It's a good trade-off. But,
yeah.
Imagine, look what Bijan was doing early in the season with Atlanta's team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if Bijan was behind our offensive line. He probably have 1,000 yards by now. You know what I'm saying? We can't talk about it because he ain't here.
Right.
But, I was on Team Bijan. But like I said, he was my second guy. Jalen Carter was a guy, I think we need. I just wasn't so big because I wanted to see. A lot of people thought Jordan Davis was just a fat boy. Just going to be a run stuffer. And last year, when he was healthy in the beginning, we were like top 3 in run stopping defense, right? He gets hurt. It took Howie 3 games to realize that he was the difference. You know what I'm saying? Before he went out there and got a Levar Joseph, got a Adam Kitsu to kind of shore up that defensive tackle. Hargrave wasn't doing it. Fletch wasn't doing it. Milt Williams wasn't doing it. Tulopo wasn't doing it. So having him back this year, you see the impact of a healthy Jordan Davis. What are we? Number 1 run stopping defense. But he also comes with sacks. The way he pushes these centers out of the way. I tell you, when you got a freaking nature, I love Jalen Carter, right? But when Jalen Carter stands next to Jordan Davis,
right,
he looks like a little high school kid.
Right.
What I'm saying? Like, the only guy on our team that even looks like they're close to being the same size is Jordan Mailata. He's a freaking nature.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, the best right tackle in the game right now. Like, he had the highest percentage in terms of being a tackle out there in the game in the NFL right now. Mm-hmm. So, I just always tell him, like, no, this dude's too fast. If you can't say that this guy went to the combine and was like the fastest big guy you see running these drills out there and think that he's just going to be a run stopper. He's lost like 60 pounds since the draft. You know what I'm saying? Of rip. Now he's this rip giant out there, doing his thing. And I knew the evolution was like the first year was kind of a red shirt. Him and Dean got red shirted last year. They didn't have to play. After he came back from an injury, we had Livon Joseph that we were paying money to. We had Dominic Sue that we were paying money to. We were trying to get the most out of Hargraves too, so you couldn't really push him to force him to be playing again. You know what I'm saying? Because you already had guys to replace him, so he got him a chance to red shirt. And he got to the red shirt around a lot of like all pro, a lot of Pro Bowl type defensive tackles to the point where this year you see him play, man. And I think, to me, like I get it. Carter got what? 4 sacks, I think he has right now. 4 sacks, something like that. But Jordan Davis got 3, and he anchors our defense in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like for the run game to be number one in terms of stopping the run. So to me, that's more than just a guy that's a defensive tackle that's getting sacks. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, that's you stopping the whole run game and you're getting sacked. To me, that's a better play. Like I know everybody kill me. Stop saying Jordan Davis is better than Carter, but I'm not really saying that per se. But it depends what you're looking for. Because as a defensive tackle, I want a guy that can do both. I want a guy that can stop the run, and when he can get to the quarterback, he's doing both right now. So that's what
I just think, I mean, Jordan Davis, I mean, he's a monster, right? And he is the anchor. And interior pressure is key, especially with quarterback pressure. I just think when it comes to Jalen Carter, he's just the versatility because he can stand up. Like Jalen Carter could play linebacker if you really wanted him to. You know what I'm saying? So he has that versatility to do a lot of different things that Jordan Davis can't do. But Jordan Davis, you got to have push up front. You know what I'm saying? So it's like But
what? Because you think about it, though. Jordan Davis had better numbers than Carter.
Right.
He's faster than Carter. He's stronger than Carter. He's bigger than Carter.
Yeah,
but better is it? Like I think people keep comparing to Carter when they were at Georgia together. Jordan Davis was a fat boy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't need to be in shape. He didn't need nothing. He just keep eating.
Why are y'all comparing it to? Y'all got them both, you stingy ass. You know what I'm saying? What the hell y'all comparing it for? You know what I'm saying?
I understand the rest of anybody else out there that try to say, oh, who's better? You know how we do it. The whole offseason we're comparing who's better, Devontae Smith or AJ Brown.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, if you gave Devontae half the targets you're giving AJ, his numbers would be good too.
I got AJ over Devontae.
But AJ is a little better. I was on board saying they're the same, just because they're two different type of receivers.
Right.
But AJ is a dog, man. That's a straight beast.
Yeah, I got AJ over Devontae.
And then like our linebacker core, we're kind of the same as you guys. We're looking for Dean to be that guy. He got redshirted. Looking for him to be that guy, and he got hurt. He coming back. He played some decent football. I was expecting the Dean to be like our next Jordan Hicks or our next Jeremiah Trotter, that guy that's just going to be in that middle of that defense that you can feel him when he come. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't really seen too much of that. He's been making plays, but Murrow's been doing good out there. Cunningham, the veteran, has been really savvy out there, making some big plays out there. So I think our linebacker as a whole is all right. I wouldn't mind when out on the trade deadline, go get a guy like Queen or something like that, or even bringing back a Jordan Hicks. Again, that would have been fine too. But like they're doing their job. And then our secondary, Slay is playing some good football right now. You know what I'm saying? Like Slay's playing good, but Bradbury, on the other hand, not the biggest fan of him. Like I think they should have never gave him that All-Pro. They kind of went to his head, kind of makes him think that he's better than what he really is. Because I've never was a huge Bradbury fan, but he had a good season last year. So I was like, okay, well, you got to give him some kind of love,
Right.
But because he's getting burned left and right out there. I like seeing what this young bull Ricks is doing from Alabama. He's playing some good football out there with our safeties. Blankenship. He gets burned, but he makes plays. What I'm saying? He makes plays. That was a huge interception last week. You should see Twitter. Everybody talking crap about Blankenship. Oh, you suck. You just gave up the touchdown. And as soon as everybody's sending that tweet, boom, he comes back with an interception, and he makes up for it. So I like the resilience of fight of him. Bayer just needs to get more reps in the defense. Like last week, everybody's like, well, he got this all-pro safety, but what's his name? Lit him up, and I just think that was game 1 for him. And I think this next game, he's definitely going to be up for it. He's going to have to be that much more. Every week go by, he's going to get a little bit better with that. So overall, as a defense, we're not the same defense as last year, but I feel like we have better players than last year.
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? But people always compare last year's defense. That was a historical defense. Like that was a defense that not very many teams have ever had that kind of defense. Tops and sacks, turnover, all that stuff. So it was like really hard to come into this year. and think that we're going to have the exact same defense or even think anything remotely like that, because that was just a lot of, those stats is crazy how that happened. So
Right.
I knew that the offense is going to have to carry the load this year, and I think the offense is doing it, and as long as Jalen Hurts stays on that football field, man, I think we can beat anybody.
Yeah.
Give me 3 takeaways from the game. Give me 3 hot takes. If the Cowboys win, these 3 things happen.
If the Cowboys win, our offensive line protected Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has a big major day where no one's going to talk about him and compare him to these random little quarterbacks no more. And our secondary and our corners slow down A.J. Brown. We end the streak.
So the 3 was stopping AJ.
Stopping AJ, protecting Dak, and Dak's going to have a big game.
Oh.
Because Dak typically does have big games versus.
But I just feel like he can have a good day. Okay, my 3, when the Eagles win, it's going to be because Jalen freaking Hurts is going to do what Jalen freaking Hurts do, and he's going to throw that ball to A.J. Brown. He's going to have his 7th 125-plus yard game, and the passing game is going to be on point because, I really feel like that's the real, I feel like I know what's his name, Bland, whichever one. He's had some good games this year. But I don't think he can stop, and I don't think Gilmore can stop Devontae or AJ. He's too old for that. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel like the passing game, I'm not really one to really push the passing game. I really want to see Swift get the ball a lot more than what he's getting it. But I really think this is a game that you need to take advantage of you guys not having Diggs. Diggs was a curse to us before when he was playing us. You know what I'm saying? Diggs get picks. He'll do his thing, lock down whoever needs to lock down. He's one of the best corners in the game, But without him, I think you guys are gonna get your lunch ate, man. For real. I don't think they can stop him. So I think the receivers dominate, I think they will do. And that's including Goddard too. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys are, like you said, kind of young with the linebackers over there. So that's Goddard and the 2 twin receivers. They do their thing. It's gonna be one thing. Jalen Hurts, has another clean game because it's not about him getting. I keep saying Jalen Hurts throw for 400 yards, but it hasn't happened yet. So I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm just gonna say Jalen Hurts just have a clean game like we just had last week. I know 4 touchdowns, 158 quarterback rating, no turnovers. Have a clean game, and I think we're good with this offensive line. Get the running game started, and then on that defensive side of the ball, I gotta see Slay lock up CD. Slay's whenever it's our team in general on defense. Whenever they play lesser opponents, they get toasted. You know what I'm saying? But when Slay plays a good cornerback, a good receiver, he usually plays some good balls. I want to see Slay lock down CD because CD is on fire right now. It's kind of funny how when CD started bitching on the sideline, they started giving him the ball. When AJ was bitching on the sideline that game,
right,
we started giving him the ball, and it's been working. So, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that is about, you got to go bitch to get the ball. It's worked for both teams, but I think we have the better secondary, and I think Byard really helps that because our biggest problem was having those young safeties, Blankenship second year, he was an undrafted free agent. Then you had Sidney Brown, he's a rookie this year, so it's that's too young if you're thinking about championship to be in your back end, Right. So the fact that you went out and got an all-pro like Byard, the more he gets accustomed to this, I think that's going to help us out. So I want to see some turnovers. Our big 3 receivers just handling their business, and then the Jalen Hurts just have a clean game. I think we do those 3 things. We should come out the football game. What do you think the score prediction is going to be? Where you got us going?
My gut tells me it's going to be high scoring, but every time I think it's going to be high scoring, it might be low scoring. But I think you're going to have to score points this game. So I got the Cowboys. I'm going to go 36-31, 37-31.
Cowboys winning?
Yeah. I don't know, man, because I have the Cowboys splitting, and I'm kind of torn on this because, of course they're at in Philly, and I want them to win when I'm in Dallas. I want to win that game. That's most important than what I'm going to be at.
That's what happened last year. What you guys won in Philly last year? We won in Dallas last year.
Y'all won in Philly. We won in Dallas last year.
Oh, it's opposite.
Yeah. So y'all won at home. Yeah. So it's I kind of want the home win if I got split. But at this point, F it. Let's get them both. So I got the Cowboys winning 37-31 over Philly.
And no disrespect, but I got the Eagles sweeping the division. No disrespect to the Cowboys or nothing. I just feel like our team is better. We haven't even played our best football yet. You know what I'm saying? We're still getting these wins off. but I think it's going to be a tight game. And I'm going to say the score is going to be 31-17 Eagles. You know what I'm saying? I think it starts out like really close, but then after the second half, we kind of pull away there because, like I said, I just feel like our team, like I got us going 15-2, so that's only 2 losses, and we already got one of those losses down. So I don't see.
I got so many losses about to come your way, bro.
No, that's what everybody think, but it's not true. Everybody's going off of
y'all better. I know Kansas City, they fired up for y'all.
This is what I hate about this whole thing, right? Everybody looked at our schedule this year and was like, oh, well, your schedule's harder than last year. I'm like, if we played those teams last year, we would have beat them. You know what I'm saying? They were a better football team. We were in the Super Bowl, my guy. Like, we were the best team in the NFC last year. We beat some good teams to go there.
We looked at your schedule and says, damn, bro, we got to be on.
Buffalo Bills have been semi-trash this year. Let's keep it real. They ain't been dominating football.
Lost the Jets.
Huh?
But y'all lost to the Jets, though. The Bills lost.
But that was our fluke game. Everything bad had to happen for us to lose to the Jets is the problem. Think about Washington last year. When we lost to Washington, everything bad had to happen for us to lose to Washington.
Yeah, it
wasn't like Washington beat us. We beat ourselves that game. To be honest, both losses last year in the regular season, we beat ourselves.
Dog fights.
We just beat the Eagles last year. And I said, I don't feel like that this year.
Dog fight versus Minnesota.
Kansas City, not the same Kansas City team.
You're in a dog fight versus the Bucs. There's a lot of dog fights.
No, I'm not saying these are going to be blowout wins, but I think that these teams that everybody think is going to beat us.
Monday night, you got the Dallas Cowboys, and you turn around on Monday night and come here to Arrowhead versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Are we going to beat Big Red this time? He beat us too many times. Your luck got to run out sometimes.
And then you got to turn around and play the Bills. Then you got to play the 49ers. Then you got the Niners. Yeah, and then turn. Oh, yikes.
Niners, we already blew them out, man.
We
blew out the Niners in the NFC Championship. Why we got to worry about them? They should be worried about us.
Hey, welcome to the football season.
All those teams need to worry about the Eagles because we are healthy. We're getting more healthy, and we haven't even played our best football, and it's getting down that time of the season when you play your best football. So I got either 31-17 in this rivalry game. We're going to see what it is about.
Schedules like that.
But you guys got the same schedule too, though.
I mean, our schedule gets a little tight. We get the Giants after y'all. You know what I'm saying? So get a little breather.
Y'all got to play. But then y'all turn around. Y'all play Miami. Don't y'all play KC?
Miami. We got the Bills, Seahawks, Lions.
And see that? Those are
Washington twice. You know what I'm saying?
I better sweep them, but you know what I'm saying? Like they just got rid of Montez Sweat.
Yeah. So we lucked out. We got
the easy games for you guys to get wins in now. Oh man, you lucky stuff. But like I said, like that game, I think the Lions are a lot tougher than people think.
That's gonna be a good game.
Seattle's still a tough football team.
Yeah. I mean, we still
both got some games to really watch out for.
You get a breather though, because I mean, because you can't take no one for granted because the Giants, you know what I'm saying? But get a little breather for things.
But hey, Ted, we definitely gonna link up. Talk about this game afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's on Twitter or on here or whatever, man. And I think it's gonna be a good game, like you said. I really believe it's gonna be a really good game. And I'm excited to see it, man. Like, I feel personally that this is my personal belief that we sweep the division. I really feel like we can do it. This is a year that the Cowboys done it before. I feel like we're good enough to do it this year. It'd be the first time back-to-back division champions in a while. But I think it's going to be good games. You know what I'm saying? Good games to lead up to that. So, hey, shout out to you for coming on the show. Any last words for you, my guy?
Nah, I appreciate y'all all, man. Follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. Of course, my YouTube channel, CFO Sports. Salute to High Point Sportsman. I just linked up with Des Bryant.
Congratulations to that, my guy.
Appreciate you. So we're going to be doing some big content. I think they're live with D-Hop right now. So just, bringing players closer to the fans, man. That's what it's really about. So I think he's trying to work out something with D-Jack this week. So maybe, for Eagles fans, come over there and talk your Cowboy stuff with D-Jack and Dave.
Who's representing the Eagles over there, my guy?
His name is Nolan something. I just met him other day on a Zoom call. I didn't know him before the other day. So, these are people who kind of like applied and Dez kind of reached out. It's more like fantasy football people. that they're kind of building around, but I just think that, we had the relationship. So extremely blessed and honored. Des is one of my all-time favorite players, and we're going to get things rocking, man. So I appreciate all of y'all, man. It's going to be a good game Sunday, and, Cowboys going to get the win, do what we do. But, at this point, man, Cowboys fans get mad at me, but I'm kind of playing a little strategically with this playoff seeding, because I looked at something today, and I was like, man, that fifth seed looked kind of sweet, man.
That is where you guys are right now, right? The 5th seed.
Yeah. So we would play the fifth seed. The 5th seed looked kind of sweet going to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And then
I thought I had an idea. Yeah. You guys.
It would be we would play Atlanta.
Would you really be happy if you go into the playoffs 5th seeded in?
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. Yeah, absolutely.
You get no respect going into the playoffs at number 5.
I don't think if the Cowboys ever do get to where we're trying to go, I don't think it's ever going to be where we're the favorites. I think it's going to be where we're kind of one of those wild card underdogs, and we kind of just get hot at the right moment. But I mean, to go to Atlanta, right, and then the possibility of playing the winner between the Vikings and the Detroit, while you guys have to play San Fran in the divisional.
So you want us to have the
Y'all slit each other's throats, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm down for it, because after we beat them in the regular season, we go beat them again. The Niners don't want nothing with us, man. We heard all your quarterbacks. We're gonna keep doing it, because it doesn't matter if he did get hurt or not. He would have got sacked 20 times, regardless on the facts. So
let y'all do that dirty work, man. That's it. 49ers fans, I want no more smoke, bro. I'm done.
We'll see. Then we got what? How many games again till we play again? You guys 4 games away?
Yeah, I mean that those scenes going to definitely change by then. But I'm saying, things.
One thing that's not going to change by then is us being number 1 in the AFC. That's going to still be a fact. That's going to be a fact. And we're going to talk about it next time too, Tuck. I'll get you back over there, and we're going to talk about how the Eagles are still the best team in the league, and everybody else is looking up to us. But hey, like I always say at the end of my videos, fly Eagles, fly. Till next time, it's BG, J Tuck, and we out. Peace.